What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on this, what is this, Wednesday?
Yeah,
Wednesday night. The market's been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's pulling back, it's recovering, just a bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna go over the position I took today. I entered into Snap, which is Snapchat, I believe, isn't it?
I think it's
Snap, yeah, I believe Snap, yeah, I think it's Snapchat. And I entered a position on that early this morning, and it kind of hovered around the same price of $9.15 to $9.20 all day long. And then towards the end of the day, in like the last hour or 2 hours, it started to sink again, which was good because I entered a position. I think I bought 6 puts for it, which was not that much. So if you're new and this is the first time you're watching this, we're trying to do the $1,000 to $5,000 challenge where we grow 400% in 2 months. So I'm trying to take somewhat risky positions but still somewhat safe positions so that I can grow the account safely instead of, dumping the $1,000 and then, being stuck to a point where I can't recover. So what I did this morning was I bought 6 puts on Snap that expires in 16 days for a strike price of $8.50. So basically what that did today was profit me by the end of the day, I think like 10 or 12 bucks, which isn't that much, but then again, Snap didn't really move that much. So that part I'm not worried about. But the point of tonight's video, and Alan will talk about his own stuff, but the point of tonight's video is kind of some fundamentals of day trading that I've experienced. So while I'm not a professional, these are some of the things that I've experienced and some of the things that I found worked. Number one, unless you know a day trading scheme is going, unless you've tracked for the past week that a particular penny stock or option or even an established stock, typically sometimes they'll trade in the same pattern every morning. They'll dump in the morning until 10:30 or 11, then they'll rise up and then they'll come back down and create a W or an M or a V. SPY is popular for its V's. It'll dump in the morning and then it'll rise in the afternoon. If you don't know a particular stock's pattern or what it typically trades at, because obviously it can change, just because it did it for 3 days in a row doesn't mean that it'll do it for the next day. It only increases the probability that it'll repeat it for the 4th day. So if you don't know what a pattern could potentially be, never trade in the first 30 minutes of open. Typically the first 30 minutes of open are the most, for beginners. For the people who are advanced, and you possibly are watching this, if you're advanced you're probably not watching this, you guys are good, you guys know what you're doing. But as a beginner, the stupidest thing that you could probably do is buy a call or a put in the first 30 minutes of market open. And the reason for that is because the most dramatic and crazy moves happen in the first 30 minutes, but also the first 30 minutes don't typically represent what the rest of the day is going to do. So it could fall out of the sky for the first 30 minutes and then the rest of the day could recover and shoot up past the day's highs or pre-market highs or the day before that high, whatever. Or it could do the exact opposite and it could spike in the morning, which that happens quite often, and then the rest of the day it's going to plummet. So if you're looking for a day trade, or more specifically a swing trade, typically the first 30 minutes you want to wait until after that happens, until you can distinguish what the day's pattern is going to somewhat look like, so that you can get an entry there. So I've made that mistake. I'm sure some of you have made that mistake. That it's not really the end of the world if you do make that mistake, and sometimes it definitely works in your favor. If you buy a call at the beginning of market open and then it spikes, you're in good shape. But the only contingency to that is, will it sustain that spike or will it come back down? So you never know. And if you're only day trading within like a 30-minute span, so that 30-minute span you are, you plan on buying entry into the spike and then closing at the end of the spike 30 minutes later, then go for it. But I'm talking more towards people who hold stuff all day long, or people who sell intraday patterns that are 4 or 5 hours long, or more specifically, if your account is under 25,000 and you're trying to save your day trades, and you're trying to swing trade, typically the first 30 minutes you kind of want to wait until after that's over. That's just my experience. Some people may have different experiences, but I know that I've lost a lot of money and messed up from specifically trading in the first 30 minutes. So that's kind of my rant on that. I have more to talk about, but to keep the video short, I'll probably say that until Friday or Thursday or, whatever. So what do you have to talk about?
Yeah, so this is kind of a continuation from yesterday. So I was talking about how CRMD, spiked up a whole bunch. Actually hit its high yesterday, just found out today. And guess what, it did, it dropped, So I quickly got out of that about pre-market and I just watched it, watched the flames go up, if you will. I also bought just, a put of Snap at the same strike price. And, personally, it was kind of a little disappointing.
Did you buy at the same expiration date?
No, I bought, so it expires tomorrow, so I have, 2 days. So if it does do what we hope it will, I'll make maybe a little bit. But really, next week would have been more preferred. So really just, went up today, which is kind of disheartening. And then just kind of consolidated a little bit, which kind of shows it was going up. And then it's hit that point where it's about to, it's like the edge of the roller coaster. It's going to drop down probably in the next week.
So this is something to pay attention to, is underextended or overextended RSI. So if it's overbought or oversold. I know I've talked about this before, but to kind of reiterate the beginner aspect of this like YouTube channel and YouTube videos, RSI is Relative Strength Index. Basically what that indicates is whether a stock or whatever is oversold or if it's overbought. So it's very important to, in particular, to pay attention to that, because Snap shows signs of way overextension. If you look on the 1 hour chart, which you can find by going to your platform and then clicking 1 hour for the date range, then you'll see that RSI for Snap is very, very, very overextended, which could not mean anything, but it also does mean something, because typically when stuff's way overextended that way, and it's been that way for I think a week or two now, it's a good indication that there's going to be a significant pullback here pretty soon. So I bought puts that expire in 16 days. He bought puts that expire tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit in a better shape. This is the 13th of February, so if you go back and look at if you're watching this in the future, tonight, I believe after market hours, Snap has already begun dropping, and it could spike in pre-market. I don't know, but based off what I have seen, it struggled very hard for the past 3 days to break. And this is also a whole nother video in itself, but it struggled to break the resistance levels of $9.20, and it struggled to do that for about 4 times now. Typically what that means is, yes, it could break out above that now, but when it struggled to break above a certain price point 4 times in a row, it's kind of a signifying factor in saying, okay, maybe I should look into buying a put now, because one of these times it's going to get rejected and then it's going to head back down. So hopefully, crossing my fingers, that happens this time. If it doesn't, if it decides it wants to go above 920 tomorrow and I see it breaks out of that resistance line, then I'll be cutting losses and getting out of it and hopping in something else. So that's the key, cutting losses when things don't go your way. So, you have anything else for tonight?
No, that's about it.
Alright, so that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully the next one will be released on Friday, I believe, or maybe tomorrow, just depends. So, if any of you guys have any questions or comments, or you want us to do a video on anything, please just let us know, and if we don't know it, we'll research it and find out. So again, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe and click the notification button so that you can see when we release our new ones. We do release them consistently, and we plan on releasing them consistently. So I'll be quiet now. Thank you guys for watching.